are we on? There we go. I'm gonna call the meeting of the the School Building Committee to order for December 16th at 5:30 p.m. And Mayor, are you on with us?
Yep, he's coming in right now.
Hey guys, I am now. I didn't have a proper link to get in before. So here we go.
All right, are you gonna preside, Mayor?
Now you have the agenda right in front of you. You got Phil right there. Looks like you got everything you need.
Okay, we'll take it away. Jeremy, are you gonna be able to call the roll from where you are?
Yeah, certainly. You can all hear me now. So we'll start roll call. Dave.
Present.
Jason.
Present.
Lori. Jackie.
Yes, here.
Gary.
Here.
Kelly.
That was Kelly.
Here. Kelly, there we are. Bill.
Here.
Barry.
Present.
Scott. Ed.
Ed's here.
Ed, are you there? There you are.
He's
Mark.
in the room with me.
Got it. Mark Furtado? Nope. Rob. Rob is not going to be here. Steve. Mike, I imagine, is doing snow. Andrew.
I hope he is.
Present.
Gail. I don't see Gail on. Jack.
Here.
And Mayor.
He's here.
Yeah, I'm here, Jim.
Oh, I know.
Sorry, I had it
I
up.
apologize.
Yeah, and
No worries.
Scott just posted that in the chat that he's here. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Oh, okay, good.
Great.
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
So we have a quorum, and now let's go through that again. And Jackie, do you want to make a motion to approve the minutes from November 8th?
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Sorry, Dak.
I was going to say, any comments or corrections?
No.
Hearing none. Jeremy?
Dave.
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Jackie.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Andrew.
Yes.
Jack.
Yes.
And Mayor.
Yes.
All right.
It passes unanimously. So I think from here, as always, we'll skip the bills for the moment and we'll go right to Steve Johnson. Steve, do you want to share your screen and give us the update?
Yep.
Right. All right, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So, work continues on the roofing. As always, anything that you see that's white is permanent roof. So this is the future automotive here, the easternmost part of the building. So all this roof is done and permanent. This roof here, and they are working on the main roof. This is area E. So down below here is the future cafeteria area. They're working their way. They're about halfway done with this roof, working their way west to east. The gym roof is done. And then I'll show you another view. Another week or so, hopefully, depending on how much snow we're getting and how quickly we can clear it. About a week with that roof there, maybe a little less. And then these low roofs here are what they would move to next. So these two low roofs, and then this one low roof section here. And then the bulk of the main sections of roof will be complete. And, you know, we'll have to go back and do edges and some detailing and that kind of stuff. But the majority of the roof at that point, once we get these low roofs done, and this last section of E, the roof is, you know, substantially complete for as far as what we call the field, which is it's a pretty big milestone for us. We're pretty excited about that. And then I'll switch back to the other view. Masonry continues. So this section here is complete. The masonry is complete and washed down, and you can see all the staging is down as well, which we're happy about. And they've actually started the installation of the permanent window frames back here. So that work is going to continue. The AVB that you see here is complete almost on the entirety of the ABC building. So this main first section of the building, the 4-story section. So AVB here, anything you see that's kind of silver is that AVB. So they swapped over the masonry operation to this side of the building. They're working on the south side here, getting through that. And again, as soon as that's gone, we'll be able to hit that low roof there. From the exterior, like that's the big push right now. We are temporarily enclosed. Any opening that doesn't have a permanent window in it has a temporary window in that consists of poly and wood. And then we have our temp heat. We did turn it on. We did start that up just because of the cold temperature. So that's going to allow us to keep working in this main section throughout the winter. And then on the inside, let me show you. The most exciting part of the interior would be the fact that we've completed some more interior drywall up high, and we've received some of our inspections already. That's going to allow us to continue. We have our last inspection hopefully Monday. Based on the weather, it's most likely the plumbing inspector's got to come through. And if he's okay with everything and the building inspector's okay with everything, we're going to start boarding everything down low that you see here. So up top, we've got a lot of the drywall done in building C, working our way west. And then very quickly, once they give us the green light, we're going to start to drywall all the walls in the classrooms. You can see it's all stacked up in each classroom, ready to go. And this work will go quickly. So we're pretty excited about that milestone too. One of our favorite things to hear on a job site is screw guns. And we're going to start to hear a lot of them hopefully next week. The 4-story section, we've completed MEP coordination in the 4-story section. So our HVAC company is continuing to work their way down. They've ordered some duct, and they're going to be working on the first floor fairly soon in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be working on all 4 floors of the 4-story section, which is good news for us, and good progress. Other things that might be of note, I can't remember if we showed the group some of the pictures of the monumental or communication stair, but I'll show you a picture here that's a few days old now, but gives you a feel for this is completed now. A little out of focus, but all the concrete's poured here and it's stripped. That's starting to take shape now. And then we've our slab on grade pours, and we've actually poured over in the automotive area. We're working our way east with that as well, which is good. We're trying to get that as much as possible poured again before it gets too cold and we're not able to. So this is the future automotive. Concrete's all poured here. We're working our way east towards building E. We're going to skip over the auditorium because eventually that slab on grade is actually pitched. It's sloped down towards the stage, and we're going to keep the ground level because we're going to do a lot of work overhead over the winter. So that'll be the last section of concrete on slab on grade that we pour on the job. But we're going to try to continue to get everything else possible, all this that you see here, in the next few weeks before it gets too cold. Other than that, we continue just to kind of temporarily close in where we need to keep going with spray fireproofing operations. And then I'll show you one other view. This might be better. We continue with interior block masonry as well, and in any areas that we can, the south side of ABC and over around the gym area, that work continues as well, if it loads. So spin around here. So all this block here that is on the first floor, south side of the ABC building, a lot of that is in progress on both the west side and the east side. And then as far as the field goes, show you that picture. The field itself, the turf portion is complete. We have some fencing that actually is on, call it back order. It's hung up in Canada. Due today or tomorrow. There's a section of permanent fence, 8-foot fence, kind of along this section here of the baseball field, and then a little bit on the softball field. The fencing itself, the chain link portion of it, all the posts are in. That's like the major work that we have left. But as far as the green, the actual playing surface, that work is complete. And as soon as we get the fence in, we're going to ask KBA to come out and do a final walk and issue the substantial completion for this entire field here, including the fence. But we got to get that fence installed before that'll happen.
And Steve, let me just jump in there before we forget.
Yep.
Our next regular meeting is going to be January 20th. But we're going to call a special meeting for January 6th at 5:30, which is the same time as the Municipal Building Commissioners meeting. And so what we'd like to do is have a 5-minute meeting of the School Building Committee before the MBC starts. And at that time, we will be asking that the committee accept substantial completion of the Western Fields. Joe Milani and KBA have agreed that as soon as that fencing is in, they will go out and do the final inspection in order to sign that certificate, recommend that to us. We can then recommend that to the mayor. And so I'll ask you all to mark your calendars for January 6th at 5:30. The MBC members would be here anyway, or virtually here. And it will be a very short meeting just so that we can close out the Western Fields and turn them over to the city for use. So thank you, Steve. Keep going.
That's actually all I had, unless there were questions or any view or something somebody wanted to see.
Committee members, any questions? Steve, we're on time, correct?
Yes, we are.
And Anjanette and Marianne, we're on budget, right?
We most certainly are.
The two most important questions in every project. So it's very impressive, and I think we should all be proud of what we've accomplished so far. So hearing nothing else, then Steve, do you want to get into the change order charts?
Sure. We'll start actually with the approval of GCO number 3, if that's okay.
Sure.
So GCO number 3, there are 3 GCRs, which are change requests as part of the change order. And the first is GCR 008, which was PR 037. that involved some BMS connections for the VAVs. There are 29 VAV boxes, and then there are some controls associated with it so the building management system can work these VAV boxes that were added to the 29 VAVs. And that total is $42,251.86. Second is GCR 11, RFI 292. It involved a detail whereas we had some relieving angles that stretched across expansion joints. So they changed, instead of being a brick section supported by an relieving angle, since it was going over the expansion joint, KBA changed the detail so that it was brake metal and we didn't have a relieving angle traveling over expansion joint. That was at a couple locations on the south side of B building. That is worth $16,713.95. And then lastly, GCR 12, which was revised gas piping. It actually reduced the piping scope required for the main gas feed into the building. That actually came in at a credit of $15,283.83. All three of these GCRs have been approved by KBA, their consultants, and Skanska. We spent a lot of time on all these to go through them. So the grand total for GCO number 3 is $43,681.98.
Hey, Steve, just one thing. On the chart that we got by email, 8
Yes.
shows as being 46,000, so it actually came in at 42?
Yeah, do we have some numbers? 40. Yes, GCR number 8, you're saying, Jack?
Yes.
Yes, it came in at 42,251.
42,251. Okay, good. 4,000 is 4,000.
Yes.
All right, and these were all things that you had told us about before and we were expecting to see, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so do you need a motion to approve GCO number 3 for
Yes,
that
please.
total?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Jeremy?
All right, GCO number 3. Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
and Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, that's unanimous. Then Steve, do you want to go further down on that log or where do you
Sure.
go next?
Yep, absolutely. So we'll stick with the change request, GCRs. The newest one on the list, we start at number 21. So 21 is gym entry relieving angle revisions. So this is on the interior of the building as you come in from the south into the gym area. The brick extends into the interior portion of the building, and the relieving angles that were holding the brick up needed to be a little deeper than what was originally shown. So that is being reviewed right now by the subcontractors. There's an estimated cost of $5,400 for that. GCR 22, Area G bent plate installation. This is a detail just when looking at the sequencing and constructability at the area in building G, between the bent plate and the masonry and the grouting and the timing of it, there had to be some architectural changes there in order for us to install it properly. Again, that's an estimated cost of $4,800 there. GCR number 23, catch basin number 41 and associated storm drainage revisions. The piping was changed from reinforced concrete to ductile iron, and the invert elevation changed a little bit on the catch basin. So that came in at $8,403.07. That is currently being reviewed by the design team. GCR 24 added lead signage and line striping. This is associated with green vehicles. So we need to add spaces so the striping changes, the colors change, and new signage was introduced in order to be LEED compliant. So that is out for pricing. Estimated cost is listed in there at $10,800. And then GCR 25 was a new one, outdoor classroom. So KBA is kind of reworking some materials. They're deleting some of the granite blocks on the exterior of the building and then trying to incorporate them to create an outdoor classroom space, and changing some sidewalks to pavers. And the intent here is to make this a no-cost change. We spent some time on it today after this was produced, so there's an ad cost of $10,821 in here, but that was just an estimate before we spent some time on it today. So we're looking at that with the subcontractors to get that number as close to zero as possible. But it is a pretty neat idea. And the intent with KBA is just to try and make it no cost at all. There's a couple others that did come up that didn't make it to the log that we're working through, a couple of credits and a couple of code interpretation. And we got some feedback from some inspectors on a couple of code items that we're reviewing as well. So we'll be talking about those next month.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Steve on this log? I'm hearing none. We have another log, the GCT log, Steve?
Yep. So this is the contingency transfers. Again, these items do not increase the GMP. We already have the money set aside for these. So it's just moving it from one budget line item to the next. We actually don't have any new ones since the last time we met. The last time we met, we actually voted on GCT 11 for the anti-graffiti spray on the architectural concrete walls. The only minor change is GCT 10, the VFD install and mounting. The price came in a little higher than what we thought, but that one's currently being reviewed right now, not ready for a vote just yet.
Okay. Any questions on this log? All right, then I think the next thing that I see in my pile of papers is the allowance log. Is that something you want to talk about, or is that an Anjanette?
Either or, I can speak to it.
Why don't you speak, Steve, since you've got the floor?
Yep. So I believe we introduced this last month to the group. It has all the allowances on the job. Again, all these allowances are included in the GMP, and similar to the contingencies, the allowances are just simply moving budget around within the GMP. So we have, as you can see, 3 pages worth of allowances that were developed with the design team in Skanska when we were developing the GMP. We try to predict the future a little bit, work on past experiences, and make sure that we covered as much as we could think of that maybe wasn't known at the time. Maybe we didn't know quantities, or just experiences we've had where you always need set aside some money for certain things. Like an example that I always throw out is damage to the drywall partitions. It happens on every job. We, as careful as people are, there's always going to be a little bit of damage, so we carry money to patch the damage along the way. That's just an example. So there's 172 of them total that we track, and we talk to Skanska and KBA anytime we want to spend any of this money. So overall, big picture, if we include the $4.8 million in contingency, there's $15 million worth of allowances in here, and to date, we've approved 2.3 million, or we've transferred 2.3 million out of the 15 million to various items, leaving us 12.8 million. And then there's another 551,000 that's pending. And it's the large numbers, but we had predicted large numbers. So we are on track with a lot of the allowances. And a lot of them, we haven't we haven't hit the scope yet that we carried the allowance for. Like a lot of them might be finish related. We're just not at finishes yet. So, we're not going to touch those maybe for another 6-8 months. But the ones that we have started to spend money in are coming in at or around budget. The one that we're watching the closest is obviously related to winter. So it's winter conditions for concrete, which we are getting close to maxing out, but we're saving some money on a couple other allowances along the way that we can just transfer to cover the winter concrete. And then again, we monitor the winter heat usage. That's going to be the next one that we're going to spend a lot of time just making sure we're not wasting any of that heat and being smart with when we have the heat on, when we turn the heat off, to make sure that it's meeting the needs for the job, but not, getting it a little too excessive. So overall, I just talked for 10 minutes, but I could have just said, hey, we're doing well with allowances too.
Okay, thank you. Then in terms of the update, Mary Ann, do you have anything to add?
Yes, what I'd like to add is I think the work, the quality has been very, very good on the job. It's a very clean site. Clean site also means that, there's good productivity because you're not climbing all over things unnecessarily. It also makes it for a safer site. We have had a couple of unrelated workers test positive for COVID, but there hasn't been any transmission on site. It's somebody calls in, they weren't feeling well, they stayed home and they tested positive, but there was no other transmission to other workers on site. So we're monitoring that very carefully. And I think Consigli and KBA are really doing an excellent job. We have their full attention for this project.
Good. Joe Milani, I see you're on. Do you have anything to add this evening?
No, just to reiterate what Marianne had said, that we're very pleased with the quality of the work and especially the cleanliness of the job site as the work continues.
Good. I note from the board that Gail Clark has joined us. So Jeremy, if you would make that note. Hi, Gail.
Frank texted me.
So then I think the next thing that we typically do is go to Anjanette with the chart of the dollars that we've spent and what's left.
Yep. Give me 1 minute to share my screen. Hold on a second. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So Jeremy, you're going to request approval for the invoices that we've received to date. This month we had the invoices from Skanska, Castle Booze, and then from Consigli as well. There was 2 previous change orders that had been approved previously by the SBC, and the work is underway. So they are billing for a percentage of that work as well. To date, we are invoiced at $93,163,246. The remaining balance of $163,640,760. And we are about 36% complete. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about any of the values shown here or any anything related to the finances.
I guess I can ask, you approve the Castle Booze bill that we have on our agenda?
Yes, we have. We get the. I get the invoice. We approve it. It's based on a percentage of the where we are in the construction. And so that's monthly. It's a fee that was negotiated with Casaboo's, and then with Consigli's invoice that we get, Skanska gets, KBA gets. We look at each of the subs invoices, confirm the amount of work complete, and go back and forth with Consigli. They make adjustments, and that number there is the final number that has been discussed and approved by both KBA and Skanska.
And that's for just under $6.8 million, correct?
Well, that the $6.8 million is the amount certified, which does not include retainages. So yes, that they hold retainage on it. So that
Okay.
is correct.
And Jeremy, you've approved the Skanska bill?
Yes, I have.
And then Briggs for testing and 2 FedExes finishes the items on our list of bills that we'll pay in a few minutes, correct?
Yes, the FedEx is for sending the paper copies of all of these bills to MSBA every month. They're 800 or 900 pages, so we FedEx them, and that's why you see those bills every once in a while.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on the finances? Okay, then hearing none, I guess a motion is in order to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bills that total just over $7 million.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Jeremy?
Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Ellie,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes?
and Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. So our next meeting dates, as I said, we're going to have a very short meeting on January 6th. January 20th is our next regular monthly meeting, and February 10th is the time after that. So mark your calendars, please. Does anybody have any other matters they wish to bring up at the meeting tonight?
Nope.
Again, hearing none. Then it looks like, according to my phone, it's 6:03. So is there a motion to adjourn at 6:03?
So moved.
Second.
Jeremy?
Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Ellie,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Jack,
Yes,
and Mayor.
Yes.
we are adjourned at 6:03. Stay safe, everyone. See you after the holidays.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
That may be